Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here for a later review of the Inter draw against Parma. 2-2 draw, another disappointing result, another draw. Man, that's all we keep doing, drawing. I missed the match yesterday, but as always, because I have no life and I'm got this disease that I can't get rid of, I still rewatch the replay of the match, and I like to give my thoughts on the match away from the frenzy of the match and the hot takes from the moment, as I always say. And I always kind of enjoy that for some reason, because you just watch the match kind of objectively and you don't really complain about the refereeing decisions and stuff. You just watch it for what it is. And again, when I watch it, didn't think we'd play too bad. Inter didn't play too bad, but I can see one of the bad things about this Inter team under Conte is I think we're losing the passion to watch Inter, in terms of just watching the team for the pure joy of watching football, for the interest of watching football. These guys, they're almost starting to remind me of the Mazzarri team, 3-5-1-1, remember that formation, similar formation. But at some point, he had a decent first season, but the football under him got so sterile and so boring at some points, and teams knew that all they needed to do was sit back against that Inter team, counter attack, and they'll get a result, which happened most of the time, and that's why he was sacked. Under Conte, getting to that point now, it was just this new Conte where he's just obsessed with his 3-4-1-2 formation, high pressing, high defensive line, pressing continuously, and then getting counter attack easily off one or two balls. It's the pattern's developing. Mazzarri used to complain about, we're not taking our chances. Conte is complaining about similar things. I'm not trying to be, saying I'm Conte out or anything. I'm just seeing this pattern. I'm developing this kind of apathy to this team now, where I'm like, Inter match again. I'm not getting that excitement. Obviously, as soon as we start winning and start scoring maybe more, probably that will come back. But that's just my feelings at the moment. This team, Conte keeps talking about attacking football, but just because we're having 69% possession like we had against Parma, doesn't mean that this was attacking football. Just because you had the possession of the ball, you have to do something with the ball. You have to be, effective with the ball. You have to try to, it's purposeful. And I feel like a lot of the times the possession is so sterile with Inter. But once again, chances on chances on chances were created. The excuses are not really there for the players to say that, okay, the formation didn't work, because if the formation didn't work, we wouldn't be creating any chances. But chances are being created. Hakimi had a great chance with a header. Perisic had a great chance in the first half when he got in behind the defense. Vidal had a header at the end. Ranocchia should have done a lot better from his header from the corner straight at the keeper. So we had 4 clear-cut chances there that could have converted into a goal that could have got the winner. And once again, Parma, the opposing team, converting so efficiently. They only had like 3 shots on goal, I think, and 2 of them were goals. So what can you say when something like that happens? Inter had 25 shots on goal, 15 corners, and that's another area that we probably should look into. Last year, Inter were the team that scored off most of the set pieces in terms of corners and headers. But this year, this match, 15 corners, and they all pretty much were taken in the same exact way, with the in-swinging Eriksson on the other side, Kolarov on the other side, and the outcome was pretty much the same every single time, apart from obviously out of the 15, 1 or 2 will land on someone's head. But there's no variety. There needs to be different types of balls, some fizzed in, some curled outwards. Try some variety. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. There needs to be some variety. Attacking wise, obviously Lukaku was missing, who is carrying this team on his back, so we saw that. But Perisic as a striker wasn't actually that bad, or as bad as I expected him to be. His movement, as we know, don't involve Perisic in the build-up play, because he has no brain. His footballing IQ is very low when it comes to those things. But when he is the finalizer, when he gets on at the end of things, when you send him to the byline, that's where he is most dangerous. And there was a couple of runs he made behind the defense that were really good. Didn't quite have the finish, but then he was moved to left wing back, and this is one of the issues I have with Conte as well this season. Perisic is already trying to get used to a new position, and then you move him to set the striker, and then you move him to left wing back again in that match, and then you move him to right wing back, and towards the end of the second half is like, how do you expect the guy to start learning and start to adapt to a new position when you just keep chopping and changing? Nainggolan coming again towards the last 10 minutes. How do you expect the guy to get into match rhythm if you're only giving him 5-10 minutes every single match? How is he going to build the confidence and the minutes in his legs? And then Gagliardini comes straight back in from COVID. He was okay, actually, Gagliardini. I'm not going to criticize him when he doesn't deserve it. But the fact that Gagliardini, the fact that, you know, the likes of Eriksen, Nainggolan, those types of quality players are not being able to be integrated into this team properly, that shows that's on Conte. They shouldn't be behind Gagliardini in the pecking order. Lautaro is all, you know, we expected him to step up in Lukaku's absence. If he wants that contract renewal, if he wants that 5 million net a year salary increase, he's not really showing it at the moment, you know. If you're going to be earning that type of money, you have to be showing that, you know, you deserve it. And that these kind of performances last 3 matches now has not been good enough at all. I don't know what's getting into this boy. I thought start of the season looked like he was back on form, you know. Barcelona rumours are ended, but he's just not taking advantage of this moment. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he really needs to wake up because the team really needs him. Pinamonti, we saw Conte clearly does not rate him, putting Perisic ahead of him in the Shakhtar match, and then here as well, he could have expected Pinamonti to start if it was going to be a match where Pinamonti could have started. Another point I need to make is regarding De Vrij at the right centre-back position. It's a little bit of a victory for me from last year when people were overly criticising, as I kept saying, Godin, Skriniar, especially Godin, when they were getting used to the new position. And we saw, I tweeted out last year, you know, if you put De Vrij in that left centre-back or right centre-back position in a 3, you see him suffer. And we saw that was the first ever time for Inter that he played in that position, and he was instantly exposed. Obviously, you know, up against Gervinho, one of the quickest players in the league, it was a weird match for Conte to test him out at right centre back. But we saw both of the goals he was at fault for. I'm not gonna criticize De Vrij because he's still our best defender, but it just shows that, you know, that position, you need to give these guys time because they're not, you know, that position requires a lot of learning and a lot of mobility, and De Vrij is probably the least mobile of our centre backs, him and Ranocchia. So those two definitely probably can't play that position. Maybe De Vrij could play if it was, you know, against a different team where they don't have as much pace, but yeah, guys, it cuts Skriniar some slack, and hopefully Skriniar is on his way back now. Tested negative to COVID finally after 3 weeks. So we'll see if he makes the Real Madrid team. I've got a Real Madrid preview coming out tomorrow. Did that with a Real Madrid fan, Mudasser, so make sure to check that out before the match. In terms of the man of the match, I have to give it to Marcelo Brozovic. Came on to change the match. You know, usually I hate when Brozovic is brought on as a sub because he just comes on with the wrong energy because he's, you know, he's slouching and but this time he actually came on with some fire in his belly, scored the goal from outside the box, changed the match. Eriksen once again, I don't remember a bad match from Eriksen in the Inter shirt. That's the thing, that's the frustrating thing. He just doesn't do anything extra. It's just always like 6 out of 10s for me, or 5.5 out of 10s. He's hardly, I don't remember a 7 out of 10 match from Eriksen, but I don't remember a 4 out of 10 match. That's the funny thing about Christian Eriksen's career, but he is really coming to the end of the line. I don't really see him staying in this team past January. Just doesn't seem like it's worked out, him and Conte. The gamble hasn't paid off. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Brozovic man of the match. I thought Barella was decent, but he looked a bit tired. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything. De Vrij right centre back, Perisic as a striker. And yeah, I'll see you for the next one, the preview for the Real Madrid match. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you. Ciao ciao, Forza Inter.